Okay, hi Jamie. Okay, so for the bows, you're gonna have bigger pieces of fabric and little pieces of fabric. So you're gonna start with a big piece of fabric, and I usually do them in batches. So you start with a big piece of fabric and you fold it in half lengthwise with the right side inside. So the wrong side is gonna be facing you. And you sew it. And I usually stretch the fabric a little bit, just because it's stretchy material, so that it's just what you're supposed to do. And like I said, I do them in batches. So before moving on to the rest of the bow, I take another big piece of fabric. I fold it in half, and then I sew it. Okay, so then when I'm finished sewing all the big pieces of fabric in half, I take them over to the iron, and sometimes the seam will naturally fold out like that, and you can just iron it open like that. Sometimes it doesn't do that easily, and I just iron it to the side, so you kind of like open it like that and then just iron it to the side like that. And then you take them and you put them right side out. So you have that one. Have that one, and so then you take it, so the seam, it's hard to tell, but so the seam is facing up, so facing you. So there's the seam, and you just iron it a little bit. And then you want to take it and fold it in half, so the seam will be outside, facing out. So see, the seam is facing out. And then you take them back to your sewing machine, and you do all that with all the big pieces. You take them back to your sewing machine, and then you sew that. So the other one, and just so you can see, can you zoom in? I usually do, that's like the seam allowance I use, like the width of the foot. Okay, and then you're gonna take those and you're gonna take your little pieces with you now. I also get some scissors. And sometimes I just trim up these seams a little. Like this one has like some bigger pieces. You don't wanna get too close to the seam, but. Okay, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna open it like that so that the seam is in the middle, like that. And you're gonna fold it open and iron it. And I mean, it does not have to be perfect. Okay, so now you're gonna turn these so that The seam is still in the middle, but so it's on the inside. So it's like that. So see, you have that. You're gonna turn it so that it's like that. Okay. So now you're gonna take your smaller pieces of fabric. You're gonna fold them like this. Whoops. And iron it. Take your other small piece of fabric. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is this is gonna wrap around. This is gonna be the bow part, and this is gonna wrap around it. So the seam is going to be in the back, and you're gonna scrunch it up, and you're gonna wrap this around the front, and then just kind of pull it around the back. So just to show you, like the seam is on that side. And then, so you take it back to the sewing machine, and here, and can you go over here? So this is more for Mumu. So you want to move the needle so it's all the way to the left so it can be as close to here as possible. So I think it's the stitch width. I just put it down like almost as low as it can go. So that moves the needle all the way over to the left. And then you want to take this, you want to hold it like this, put it in here, and then sew that. And then you're going to take the rest. So hopefully you'll have a whole pile of these and of the little ones that are ironed. So again, the seam goes in the back. You just kind of scrunch it like that. Place this around it. And then like pull it tight. Voila. Cut the threads off, and then you get your scissors and you cut close to the seam, but not too close. You don't want to cut it off. And there you go. I usually kind of just fluff it up a little, but you're sending them back, so you don't really have to worry about that. And there's your bow. Let's see what Sophie thinks. Sophie, do you like the bow? Do you want to wear it in your hair? Huh? Finny. Thank you.